Yo, what's up, guys? Lun-Gi here. So today I'll be bringing you a first place OCG Locals deck profile. So tonight I played Snake Eyes and I went undefeated at an OCG Locals. So I didn't drop a single game this evening, and I lost the dice roll 3 out of 4 times. So yeah, like the deck went pretty freaking crazy today. So I just like to show you a few of the cards. Um, right, so I played 3 copies of Searcher, Ash, and then 3 copies of Populus, 1 copy of the Extender, and then 1 copy of the other um, Extender, Wolfbach Extender. And then I only played 1 copy of Flamberge Dragon. I was just like trying it out because like having multiple copies actually like breaks your hand. So I wanted to test out just playing like the one copy, and it actually like worked out pretty nicely. And then obviously the 1 copy of Kurikara. Going second, typically searching for it to just like out the opponent's field. It's a level 1, it's a fire. It's also a nice like extender. Typically I'll just like sack their monsters and then use it as link material. Obviously like 3 copies of Diabellstar. Very standard in like a pure Snake Eyes deck. And then we have this one, Spicy Tech. So 3 copies of Magician's Souls. I can send Diabellstar straight to your graveyard. It's especially useful like going second against any deck that has like fire or dark monsters, because then you can make either dark or Hita, and then you can turn them into Celine, and then Celine can revive your Diabellstar. So yeah, that's a pretty nice combo, and it was pretty useful. It can send 2 spell and traps from your hand or field to the graveyard. Then you get to draw 2 cards. So usually you'll just be like sending your like Snake Eyes Populus that's in the spell and trap zone, or any of your other like spell and traps that's not so useful, or another Snake Eyes if you have it. So yeah, this card is very nice. I only drew him maybe like twice this evening, and both times he was actually like very useful as an extender and for drawing more cards. And then we're playing 3 copies of Ash Blossom. It's the OCG. Everyone's playing Maxx C. 3 Bonfire standard best searcher in the deck. 3 copies of Sinful Spoils card. Very nice as well. And then we have Triple Thrust. I never actually drew this card in game 1, but in the finals against Magicians, I did draw it, and then I used its effect get to get talents, and then I used that to draw 2 cards. But Thrust is very nice in this deck, especially like if you go second, you can fetch like this card, or you can fetch like Bonfire or something. Very useful. But I only saw it once this evening, so um, and then also only 1 copy of this E-Tally like card. So you really don't want to be playing into fields with this card. So you'll rather just like search for it or like set it face down when you need it. But otherwise you don't want to rely on this card like to make plays, because if they negate it, you lose like 2 cards. Like yeah. And then 1 copy of this one, very useful removal against a lot of decks. You can just normal summon Populus, and then you can search for this card, and then you can. Sorry, you can search for this card, and then you can target a monster they control, and then put it in the spell and trap zones. Dodges a lot of effects. Very useful in the main deck. Too Cool by the Grave, Maxx C. The one talents, I just searched it off of Thrust this evening. Only saw it like 1 time when I searched for it. And then the God card, Super Polymerization. Yeah, this card, it won me 2 games. The game 2 against Magicians in the finals, and then in round 2 against Unchained, using his 2 fire monsters to make Garura. Yeah, so twice, and both times it was very impactful. Triple Droplet. I did see Droplet twice, but I never needed to resolve it. So I have no idea how impactful it really is, like in the tournament, but it's nice to have. Can get like dead cards out of your hand, or you can send this to the graveyard if you want to use the graveyard effect instead of the on-field effect. Yeah, so still very useful. One copy of Instant Fusion. That's to fetch Millennium-Eyes Restrict, playing into fields going second, or to help negate like Ash Blossom or Drawing Lockbird when you go first. Yeah, Instant Fusion, very nice. And then one copy of this card. If you don't know what it does, if your Snake Eyes levels are 2 or more on on your side of the field, target a card in your opponent's graveyard or on their field, and then you can put it in the spell and trap zone, or you can use the second effect, which is to summon a monster that's in the spell and trap zone to your side of the field. Usually, you just use it as like removal, and it's very useful if you get like Maxx C. Like for example, if I normal summon this card, search for this, and then trigger its special summon effect, the chain Maxx C. Okay, I just set this card, and then I end my turn. They likely aren't going to be able to like kill you, because like whatever's threatening you can just like put like in the spell and trap zone. So sword one time, didn't need to resolve it today, but in testing it's been very useful. And then this card as a negate, again, mainly for like, if you get like Maxx C or whatever, you can just like set this, and then you do have like some disruption. And then onto the extra deck. Main deck is 42 cards. Yeah, 42 cards. Right, extra deck we have Anima, and then we have Linkaribo, useful for like dodging, targeting effects. Then we have Dark and Hita for many plays. Your Celine plays, and your Fire Princess plays. Very nice. And also, if they do get destroyed by card effect or battle, you can use Hita to search your Snake Eyes monsters, or this one to search for Magician Souls. Yeah. And then, of course, we have SP Little Knights. Then we have Masquerena. We have your Fire Princess, very good. Celine, Apollosa, access code Talker, the Whale for your Fire Princess plays. And then Lyrilusc Monster, only summoned it one time against Sword Soul. They summon a token, I bounce a token, and then like he scooped. So very useful. Also very useful for a card that I have in my side deck. And then obviously Millennium-Eyes Restrict, and then your two super poly targets. Summoned both of them today when I resolved the super poly twice. And then these are like the spoils. Now on to the side deck. I actually forgot to include this card in the main deck portion of the video, but I did play one copy of the field spell. It's usually the card that you search in your main combo. Right, so for the side deck, 3 copies of Jordan Lockbird. Sided in against Magicians. They negated it with Crossout Designator, and then my next turn I super poly them. So not very impactful this evening. 3 Nibiru only drew it against Sword Soul. Was impactful, won me the game. Pancratops drew it against Magicians, but I discarded it off of Super Poly to Nuclear Field. Red Reboot, didn't see it this evening, but it's kind of mandatory in the side deck, I think, if you're playing a combo deck. And then 1 copy of this card. I never lost a single game, so I never got a chance to go first post side. So I didn't get a chance to use this card, but you use it in tandem with Thrust, and then you can make the Lyrilusc XYZ, and then you can just negate all like the monster effects for the turn. I was good in testing, didn't get a chance to utilize it this evening. And then 3 evenly matched, drew it against Labyrinth, won that game. He decided to keep like Super Poly set, and then got rid of these other cards. Super Poly is kind of mid against this deck. Like honestly, doesn't really do much at all. And then the final card, D-Barrier. Never got a chance to go first post side, so didn't actually see it. But We have a format where there's a lot of like pendulums and stuff like that. So I definitely would have cited it. Had I lost a game, I would have cited it going first with thrust. So all in all, it was a great tournament. OCG tournaments are mostly capped at like 16 players. So we had 16 players. 4 rounds. My first round was up against Labyrinth 2-0. Round two was up against Unchained 2-0, Sword Soul 2-0, and then Pendulum Magicians 2-0. So 2-0'd everyone this evening. Deck overperformed, I think. Deck was really, really strong every single game. And I don't know if you noticed, but like I don't have Maxx C in the main deck or in the side deck. I decided not to play Maxx C at all. I came to that conclusion because Maxx C is very variant, and I just wanted to play cards that are more consistent, that I could consistently use to beat my opponent. Against Pendulum Magicians, I reluctantly sided in Droll and Lock Birds. They do have Crossout Designator and Call by the Grave to negate it. And he did draw the Call by the Grave. And if I hadn't top decked Super Poly, I don't think my hand would have been strong enough to beat his field of like 6 negates. So yeah, um, the only like change I would make going forward would be, I guess, not to side in Droll and Lockbird when I go second against like a heavy combo deck, because like it's like flipping a coin. Like if they have Call by the Grave or Crossout Designator, then it does absolutely nothing. Really hate it. I'd rather just have, I don't know, like something like Dark Ruler, or I don't know, something else that trades with their negates instead of this. But it is useful, if I go first, then I can sight it in to stop my opponent. Anyways, that's it for the deck profile. Thank you for watching. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Peace.